Good morning. I welcome you to our 9 a.m. contemplative service. We start this morning with these words from the Reverend Lindsay Bates. Please join me in the reading of our chalice lighting. To face the world's shadows, a chalice of light. To face the world's coldness, a chalice of warmth. To face the world's terrors, a chalice of courage. To face the world's turmoil, a chalice of peace. May its glow fill our hearts, and our lives. So it's a joy to be with you this morning, as always. Whether you're joining us in the sanctuary or on Zoom, we're glad you're here. We're a Unitarian Universalist congregation. We welcome a diversity of spiritual beliefs, of theologies, and of identities. We endeavor to create a safe space for all where one's individual search for meaning is celebrated with respect and kindness. I don't think I see anyone new, but if you are visiting for the first time, we hope that you continue to explore all we have to offer. A reminder that this is the beginning of the month, so there are theme cards. If they are not in your order of service, you can find them in the back when you leave at the end of the service. Please join us for beverages, snacks, and conversation immediately following the service over in Smith Hall. And today we begin with the words of one of my favorite poets, Mary Oliver. That time I thought I could not get any closer to grief without dying. I went closer and I did not die. Surely God had their hand in this, as well as friends. Still I was bent, and my laughter, as the poet said, was nowhere to be found. Then said my friend Daniel, brave even among lions, it is not the weight you carry, but how you carry it. Books, bricks, grief, it's all in the way you embrace it, balance it, and carry it. When you cannot and would not put it down. So I went practicing. Have you noticed, have you heard the laughter that comes now and again out of my startled mouth? How I linger to admire the things of the world that are kind and maybe also troubled. Roses in the wind, the sea geese on the steep waves, a love to which there is no reply. With that, I invite you to rise and body your spirit and join us in our opening hymn, which is a little upbeat for the service, but I wanted you to get the theme. Number 368, Now Let Us Sing. remain standing and join me in our unison affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is our mission. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Anthony?
Good morning. My name is Anthony Wilson, and I'm a member of the lay pastoral care team here at Westminster. You may be going through a difficult time, and the members of the team and I would like to support you with non-judgmental listening. Hope is our theme at Westminster this month, and we hope that you know that you are not alone, and we hope that we will be able to be there for you to make a difference when you're going through difficult times, to have someone there to be able to speak to. I will be here at the front of the church at the end of the service if you'd like to connect. Sharing our joys and sorrows each Sunday is a way we create connection. And this morning, I share these joys and sorrows with you. Actually, I just have one, and it is a joy and a sorrow, and it comes from Ellen Cormier. Her husband's name is Charlie. Charlie, who passed after a long struggle with cancer, October 2024, will have his final memorial service in interment at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Boca Raton Memorial Garden in Florida this afternoon. She says that I'll be home on Zoom. Florida was Charlie's happy place. He will forever be among friends. Ellen. And she has distributed this little pamphlet of her husband and the information to get onto the Zoom link for the service today. And if anyone's interested in the Zoom link or further information as to how to view the service, let me know at the end and I can share this with you or give you a copy. We recognize that sometimes our joys and sorrows are too tender to speak out aloud. I invite you to come forward and light a candle for anyone that you may be holding in your heart today. Please come forward. We now light one more candle for those joys and sorrows that remain in the silence of our hearts. My prayer is that hope will rise in your heart and give you strength. My hope is that we will have comfort and joy within our hearts. May hope ease your sorrows and magnify your joys. May hope for and commitment to each other help us to build a better world filled with love and compassion. Amen.
I love that prayer, Anthony. I wanted to share that today, my joy today is that it is my year 11 of ordained ministry today. I'm just happy. I invite you into a period of meditation. Find your feet on the ground, maybe your back against your chair. Lower your gaze, close your eyes as you're comfortable, and I invite us to be in a couple of minutes of shared silence. As you're ready, just stay seated. Join me in hymn number 346. Come sing a song with me. So after 18 years of being a Unitarian Universalist, 11 of them ordained, as I just mentioned, I still haven't mastered the UU elevator speech. You know, the one where you're supposed to be able to explain in 3 sentences who we are and what it means to be here. Under pressure, sometimes the best I can get out is we're not Christian. Which both is and isn't true, but that's a history lesson and that's a story for another day. When we get to Christmas, each and every year, and I laughed as I wandered in this morning, there is an assumption that not only is Christmas a celebration, but it's a big one. And while I don't want to be the identified Grinch in the room, the truth is that for some of us, and maybe for many of us, Christmas isn't our holiday, or it comes with a lot of complicated feelings. There are so many reasons to struggle with this season, and with this celebration in particular. Maybe we're pagan, or Jewish, or Muslim, or agnostic. Maybe we left a dogmatic tradition and find this assumption of celebration out of sync with our own internal reactions. Maybe we have our own beloved traditions, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, solstice, to name but a few. Maybe we look at the world right now and we don't feel like celebrating. Or maybe we're grieving an illness or a loss, or we find this feeling of forced celebration to be more isolating than warming. Maybe we're single or widowed or estranged from family, and we don't find the emphasis on family to be helpful. It reminds us of what we don't have. And there are many reasons, as I said, to feel out of sync with this season of joy. And that's okay. One doesn't have to experience forced jubilation or pretend to feel something that you don't feel. Now, some here, you Christmas lovers, are looking at me right around now with a bit of understandable suspicion. Why, you ask yourself, is Rev DL raining on my parade? Fair question. Every year-end tradition, in one way or another, celebrates survival. A productive harvest season that will see us through the harsh winter. Continuation of our cultural heritage. Escape from oppression. Survival of forthcoming generations, and the return of the sun, to name just some of them. Each and every one of these assures us that life will go on, and it will, but not without loss. When I was training to be a minister, I was taught by a beloved colleague that every week there will be someone in the congregation, maybe multiple someones, with a broken heart, that is who you preach to. She reminded me never to forget that people seek community because they're looking for comfort, as you said so well, Anthony, in their hardest moments. And I've recognized that truth again and again and again over the years. It doesn't matter if I'm preaching on Unitarian Universalist history or Star Wars. Someone will come up to me at the end of the service and tell me a way in which the service impacted their hurting heart. Maybe, often, it's the music. And when it's Nonetta, it's very often the music. Maybe it's a time of silence in which they had their own personal reflection. If I'm lucky, maybe it's something I said that made a little space in their heart to heal, just a tiny bit. But this is what underpins our gathering each and every week. Many of you know that I'm a Junitarian, I'm a Jewish UU, and I want to share that I love the Jewish tradition of the mourner's Kaddish. And if you don't know it, it's a liturgy of mourning said every week during service. And those who experienced a loss that week are invited to stand first. And then those with recent losses. And then maybe those celebrating a yahrzeit, which is a yearly marking of a loss. And then everyone that wants to support those in mourning. And it is then, only then, with most, if not everyone in the room standing, or in support, maybe they're not standing, it is then that we say the mourner's Kaddish aloud, communally. So those in mourning know very well that they are not alone in their grief. They can feel that they are not alone in their grief, and that's true here too. Our rituals might be different, but our message is the same. We honor your grief, and we carry it together. When we make space for the pain, when we cry and when we grieve and mourn together, we create space for transformative love. When we preach the love of Christmas, of the hope of communities coming together for an immigrant family birthing a small baby without the food or shelter they need, held in the love of community, that is the kind of Christmas we offer. That is the kind of support we want to offer in all difficult times. During the first Trump administration, when I was still minister down at the UU in South County, I was lucky enough to go spend 2 weeks at the border in El Paso, if you remember the migrant caravan happening at the time. I was one of maybe a couple dozen volunteers who were there every week, helping to greet and care for those arriving. They were seeking basic things. They were seeking refuge and they were seeking shelter. I saw so much hardship, so many sick babies, families separated against their will, hunger and thirst that I just couldn't have fathomed, and deep, deep fear about what lay ahead. And in that moment, we do what we know how to do. We do what we humans do best. We listen, often across language divides. We fed and we clothed with secondhand but clean clothing. We cooked and we fed. We housed in makeshift beds in large rooms. We contacted sponsors and we bought bus tickets, and we transported to bus stations, airports, and other locations. In the simplest terms, we loved and we cared for those hurting, and in doing so found our own aching hearts broken open with love. And isn't that always how it is? These holidays, whether it's Christmas or whatever else, are at their core about rediscovering how we want to be in community, the ways we do and want to and will care for each other. So if you're hurting because you're widowed this year and there's been so many losses, if you're suffering from depression, if you're undergoing chemo from cancer, whatever pain you're carrying, we want to mourn with you. I want to repeat that. We want to mourn with you. To bear witness to you with love at the hardest times enriches us too, because we get to share the love we have for you, for each other. Love that extends far beyond these walls. So, a quick story. Not long after I returned from El Paso, my mom was diagnosed with a terminal cancer. It was really clear she needed to live with one of her kids, and we readily decided that kid should be me. Great. She loved Rhode Island. So I moved my mom and her beloved dog, Gracie, into my little tiny 700 square foot house where I was living at the time in Middlebridge, Rhode Island. It was cozy and complicated, and it was healing, and it was incredibly hard. And I kind of thought I'd be in it somewhat alone. It was still early in my time in Rhode Island. I was wrong. I was deeply and joyfully wrong. Not only did my sibling, partner, and friends show up, but they did so in force. One of my friends decided that she needed to make an Excel spreadsheet of who would take care of my mom when, so I could have respite. They made space for me to grieve and rage and feel whatever I needed to feel. And that would have been enough, but my faith community that I was serving, they wanted their turn to support me too. Because as the minister of a congregation, I had been wondering how to balance the end of my mom's life with the ministry I loved. I worried about how to be present both to the congregation and to my mom with a little bit of time left for me. As it turned out, I didn't need to worry. The congregation showed up too, bringing more food, an opportunity for respite, books on grieving, and stories of their own losses, assuring me that I could be present in my own life in this breathtakingly hard time. By the time my mom passed later that same year, I wasn't alone in my grief, even when it felt that way. Community had held me, had taught me to receive the love that I so freely give to others. So however you're showing up today, however you're feeling this season, grief, anger, loss, joy, hope, excitement, we need all of you. And we need all of that. Life touches each of us. Every one of us has hard seasons, and every one of us has seasons of joy. So that's my invitation. Bring your whole self here. Be loved in those feelings. Remember that you are not alone, and let us mourn and grieve together. May the love that holds us all be tender with those who need it at this time, and may it, when the time is right, make space for the return of joy. May it be so. So I want to give you a little bit of time to reflect. I want to read you a short reading, and then I want to be in silence again together for just a couple of minutes. The reading is called Blue Christmas, This Too Belongs. The sound of rain, not cheerful songs. A quiet rocking chair, not traditions of the season. The early sunset, not dancing lights. Lost, tender heart, hollow soul, heavy days. Grief is welcome here, a sacred part of mourning, of the bereft, of the weeping. Amidst the celebrating, this too belongs. This too is holy. It binds us to our ancestors, to the earth, and to the stars. And yet still, a steaming mug of tea warms the belly. The dog wags its tail and the cat purrs. There are laughter and tears, sometimes both, besides the joy, and this too belongs. Shared human suffering is connection, like hearts like stones that are held by all that is, grief and light intertwined. This too belongs. This too belongs. Let us be in a second shared silence for a couple of minutes. As you're ready, come back into the room. Rise in body or spirit and join us for our closing hymn, number 205, Amazing Grace. And I don't know how many choir members we have in this room, but I need you to carry this one. I think all of you did well, not just the choir. My closing words today are part of one of my favorite blessings. It's called an Irish blessing. The author is unknown, but the words, well, I'll let you decide. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your field. Until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. And it goes on a little bit. If you know this, keep going. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the warm rays of sun fall upon your home. And may the land of a friend always be near. May green be the grass you walk on. May blue be the skies above you. May pure be the joys that surround you. And may true be the hearts that love you. And with that, please be seated, and I call Amy Crawford forward.
Good morning. I'm here to introduce to you the Share the Plate recipient for December. And one of the things that our Social Justice Committee, SEAGE, has been trying to enhance this year is our deep involvement with our partners. And so DARE is going to be our partner for the next 2 months. And Melanie Perez from the board of DARE is going to be at coffee hour today to answer any questions that you have and learn a little bit more about what DARE is doing. So our project is sort of threefold, and that is to learn, to raise awareness of what this particular partner is doing, DARE works in that we've chosen DARE as a partner in our economic and racial justice topic that we really want to delve into. So it's learning, it's action, so that you'll learn about events going on, and it is our financial support. So for the next 2 months, we'll be collecting for DARE. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about DARE. DARE stands for Direct Action for Rights and Equality. Oh, wait a minute, this is my wrong one, hold on. Nope. There we go. DARE is a grassroots organization to better the lives of persons living and struggling in Providence. Its mission is to organize low-income families living in communities of color for social, economic, and political justice. DARE believes that poor and working-class families, people of color, oppressed nationalities, including immigrants, women, LGBTQ+ community members, and youth, must be at the forefront in leading the way to our liberation. Specifically, DARE fights against racism and white supremacy, sexism, patriarchy and heterosexism, capitalism, and imperialism. DARE has a long history of success stories, from direct education and empowerment to major legislative reforms, both at the city level and the state level. We will be partnering with DARE initiatives this year and hope that you will consider supporting them financially as well as by engaging on a personal level with their mission. So we invite you to, I think, Paula, as you leave, if you would like to make a donation, that would be wonderful.
In this beautiful, small, tiny state of Rhode Island, my partner Mimi organized with DARE for 11 years. It is a phenomenal organization. I hope you give and give generously. And with that, we extinguish our chalice. Please rise and body your spirit and join me in singing Carry the Flame of Peace and Love. And join us for coffee hour.